If you press shield, target and C up all on the same frame, and on that frame get interrupted by some kind of damage source, you'll get a glitch called Return A. Now this is an old glitch in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, and it causes the camera to be fixed relative to Link. So you can move around and it will follow you, but it will never rotate around Link, it will never pan up or down, and even if you target, you'll find that the camera won't swing around Link in the way that you would normally expect. Because the camera is fixed, certain things look a bit strange. Normally, if you interact with an object that brings up a text box, the camera will swing around to give a good view of both the player and the thing you're interacting with. However, with Return A, you don't see that. The camera stays exactly where it is. It's because of this fact that we can do something interesting with owl statues. I'm going to mega flip away from this owl statue and target it at the same time. When you initiate a target, there's a window where you can talk to the actor at any distance. So to clarify what happened there, I got Return A with this very particular camera angle. I then did a mega flip and in mid-air targeted the owl. From the point I targeted, I get about 10 to 20 frames where you can talk to the owl from infinitely far away. And when I close that text box, the owl's actually so far off screen that it's cold, and that means that it can't clear the flag that says it's currently talking to the player, so I can't actually initiate any kind of new dialogue with it. Now, as we've seen in a previous video, which I'll link below, the really interesting thing happens when the owl statue hasn't been hit yet and we have a stored song, such as the stored Song of Time, which is what I have in this clip. So I'm going to do the same thing again, and when we close the text box, you'll see that Song of Time dialogue pop up. Now, as long as the owl is on screen for this bit, if we select the bottom option, it will flash and eventually the screen will fade out. So this has actually triggered the save mechanic of that owl statue, even though we've never hit it. That shouldn't normally be possible. When we load, we can see we're outside of that owl statue, and if we inspect it, we'll see that it still hasn't been hit and the wings aren't out. Being able to save at the owl statue like this is actually quite useful. If we select the text box option while going through a loading zone, we can skip the fade out that would normally take us to the title screen. By doing this, we've set up something called Owl Save Storage. This is a special state that will remain active as long as we don't use the Song of Soaring to warp away somewhere. As long as Owl Save Storage is active, then using the dialogue prompt from a stored Song of Time gives us extra features. Here I bring up the Song of Time prompt and I select yes, and you'll see the screen goes in as if there's a day transition. This glitch has many other useful effects that I won't go into now, but it's always useful to have another way of triggering it. As an appendix, I thought I'd take a little bit of time to talk about how culling works in the Nintendo 64 Zelda games. What you can see here in the shaded red and green is the cull zone for this crate that you can see in the top half of the screen. When the crate is inside that region, you can see that it's being drawn and the region goes green. It may look like the shaded region is centered around Link, but it's actually centered around the camera. I'm now going to hack this crate to have the same cull properties as the owl statues we've been looking at in Majora's Mask. You may not be able to notice, but this cull zone is just a little bit smaller and a little bit thinner. In general, you'll find that the easiest way to cull an actor is if it's directly behind the camera or to either side of the camera. Here I'm going to get Return A, and you'll see the result in the cull zone. Because the camera isn't rotating and it's fixed in place relative to Link, the cull zone is also doing the same. This is how the owl statue glitch works. By having the owl statue directly to the left of where the camera is facing, we can cull it actually quite easily without going too far away. All owl statues in Majora's Mask have the same cull zone, so in theory this should be possible everywhere.